Africans wachi, rice and pea, just like what you have in Jamaica and in some other countries in Africa and the world. First of all, we will need to boil our beans. We need to cook our beans. So watch me wash the beans and start cooking the beans for you. Let me shift my camera towards the pan. You see, so I have the pan here where I'm going to wash the beans. So I'm going to push the beans in and then wash them quickly. So this very food. So let me bring it here. I can't. This very food is called wachi in Ghana. I think the Jamaicans call it rice and pea. It's just rice and beans dish. So first of all, I'm going to wash the beans and cook the beans. So let me wash the beans. So the beans is washed now. Done with washing the beans now. So I'm gonna wash the beans. Beans is washed now. Now I need to add water. So I add water to the beans. Adding water to the beans. I'm going to boil the beans for barely 15, 20, 30 minutes. So I'm going to boil the beans. And you know, I basically use induction cooker. So I'm going to plug my induction cooker. So start my induction. So let's go. Power on. Power on. I set my time to 15 minutes. Okay, set my time to 15 minutes, and then move on to the cooking heat. So I'm going to do 120 so that it will boil faster. So now the beans is on fire now. And try it clean sides and side. If you see, the beans is on fire. I have my oil here. We're going to fry chicken, but before we fry the chicken, we're going to fry chicken. But let me go ahead and then tell you about the ingredients. With the ingredients, we're going to use beans, rice. We're going to use chicken, fresh chicken. We're going to fry the chicken. So this is our chicken. So this is our chicken here. We're going to fry the chicken, but before I fry my chicken, what I normally do is that I steam my chicken before I fry. So I'm going to steam the chicken before I fry. So first of all, I'm going to transfer the oil here. This is the oil I'm going to use for the frying. I'm going to transfer the oil to another location, and then we're going to steam this, right? We're going to steam this one. So I'm going to bring another pan. So we're going to steam the chicken here. So I'll put the pan here for steaming of the chicken. So I'm going to steam with spices. So ingredients: number 1 is beans, number 2 rice, okay, number 3 chicken, number 4 tomato, number 5 I also use green pea, pepper, etc. So now I'm going to steam the chicken here. So let me put some water in here first. So I'll pour some water into the pan. Put some water into the pan, and then fire is on. I'm going to steam for 15 minutes. So fire on. I'll reduce this one to 120. So now I'm going to put my chicken in this one and then steam, right? So put the chicken in that one and then steam. So let me add more water. I'm going to add more water. Adding more water. I want the water to heat before I put the chicken in and steam it. That's how I do it. This is not a professional cooking video. It's just my own way that I cook. So I'm cooking wache, rice and peas, right? The Ghanaian way or the African way. So join me, let's go. So now I'm going to put my chicken in here. Let me increase the fire a bit so that so I'm going to steam the chicken here first. So I'm going to put the chicken here. Steam. Initially, I wasn't steaming my chicken. I basically normally just fry it. I do cut and fry, and then someone advised me to always steam the chicken before I fry it. So I'm going to do justice to this. I'm going to add more water. So let me add more water to the steaming. Add some water to it. Then I'm going to cover it. So I cover it. So now chicken is on steam now. So while the beans boils, I'm going to add a bit of water to the beans, but let me wash my hand in the sink first. So chicken issue is done. So now we are steaming the chicken. I need to add a bit of some spices to it. So I'm going to add a bit of spices to the steaming. So first of all, I'm going to add curry powder. So I add some curry powder to the steaming. I have to reduce the fire a bit, so I bring it down to 100. Then I cover it. I have a bit of rosemary here, so I'm going to add some rosemary as well. That is not granulated. I will pick them. I'm not going to pour a lot, just some few, so I can pick it out from it, just to give it the flavor. Then I'm going to add some ginger and garlic powder. Like I told you in my previous video, Ghana we have already blended ginger and granite powder. So I'm going to add it to the steaming. So remember we are steaming for 15 minutes, right? Steaming for 15 minutes. Then we make some changes out there. So I'm going to also add a bit of pepper to the steaming as well. That's how I do my steaming anyway. So now I'm going to stir a bit so that it settles well. So stir steaming chicken, let me turn it. So I'm going to turn so that it mixes up. That mixes up nicely. I'm going to turn so that it mixes up nicely. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to turn the mixes up. So our steaming is going. So while our steaming is going on, our beans is also on fire and it's gradually, boiling as well. So I'm going to cover this thing, the steam, and I'm going to add a bit of water to the beans. Now we're going to add the rice to it. We're going to add the rice to the beans. We'll add rice to the beans. So we need to make sure the beans gets softer before we add the rice. Otherwise, you can't eat it. So let's go back to the ingredients again. You need rice. That is to prepare Ghana wache. In other words, rice and peas. You need rice. You need red beans, right? normally you always use red beans to get the wache color. Wache is supposed to look red, so you need red beans. And then for the stew side, I'm going to talk about tomato, pepper, onion, and of course garlic, and then the chicken. And for the steaming, normally I also use garlic powder, like I showed you, pepper, and then as a matter of fact, onion powder as well. So we're steaming the chicken before we fry. So now we're steaming the chicken. And normally one good practice is that if I steam the chicken, that is for my own, but I'm not saying it's professional practice, my own practice is that when I steam the chicken, the sauce can also be used to add to the stew to give the stew some flavor. I mean I'm talking about the steaming sauce. I can also add that to the stew to give it some flavor because it's just from the same old chicken and that part is even tasty. So our beans is boiling. So I hope you get those. Sometimes too, apart from the beans, rice, pepper, onion, of course oil, and then the curry powder and other things that you use to steam and then do the stew. You can also add something like spaghetti to it or macaroni to it as well. So you can add spaghetti or macaroni to it as well. So now that our beans is boiling, let's see whether the beans have become softer. Okay, the beans is becoming softer. I think I need to add more water to the beans. Let me use the power of this a bit. So let me add a bit of water. So you see the red color around the beans. It's not going to give us the wache color itself. It's going to give us the wache color itself. So I'm going to take some of the residue from the wache, the beans. You know, Ghana, you wouldn't get the type of beans that you get in Europe and America. Unless maybe you go to the modern trade shops in the shopping malls, that's where you're going to get. And normally from the market, sometimes you get those ones that you need to wash and then separate some of the beans from the entire beans itself. So let me try and get those things out. I think they are the bean stalk and all that. So let me get them out. Let me get them out. So as we cook, we get those things out. So we're gonna stir to see. Now let's check our steaming. So we check. Don't stir too much, otherwise the chicken will tear into pieces. I think our steaming is actually almost getting to, the level that we want it to get to. So very soon, the steaming will be done, and then we'll fry the chicken as well. So with the chicken, I'm going to use the deep frying pan, which is much convenient. So lower the fire. Okay, so let me get those things out. Okay. So getting all those residue. I think some of the beans have to be taken out. The ones with the holes. So I think, okay, they keep coming up. I'm still removing them, so I'm going to get all those ones from it. I'm going to get all those. I'm going to get all those things. This is the menu. Getting them out of the beans so that the beans does not contain any of the residue. Let me get them out. Okay. So I'm getting now. Let's go and check our steaming. The steaming is still going on smoothly, but I need to reduce the fire, and then I'll prepare to come and fry the chicken as well. So you see, so now we're going to fry the chicken. So we're going to take this one off, and then we'll bring the deep frying pot where we're going to fry our chicken. So now we're going to put off the steamed chicken, and then now we'll bring on our deep fry pan. So we're going to fry the chicken in the deep fry pan. And wash this. So we're going to put this thing inside the deep fry pan so that basically it doesn't stick under it. So we'll put the net in the pan. This is to prevent the chicken from sticking at the bottom of the deep frying pot. Yeah, so now we have the chicken here. Let me push this thing backward a bit. Okay, so clean here. I always clean while cooking. So now let me increase the fire a bit to 100 so that the oil heats faster. So now we're going to prepare our rice, and then okay, it's getting to get too hot. So let me. We're going to prepare our rice. Let me slow the pan down a bit because when it gets too hot, it will be jumping out of the fire. So now we're going to add a bit of water. Add a bit of water to the beans. Now taking all the beans that had holes in them. I think there's a couple of them here. Let me still take them out. Take them out. Okay. So now we are set. We're going to have our rice mix with the beans very soon while the oil boils down slowly. Now let's check whether the oil is hot. I'm told that when you put the ladle in, it's going to fry. That means that the oil is hot. So I think it's not hot yet. I think it's beginning to get hot. So the oil is beginning to get hot. Let me check this again. I think it's already getting hot. So let me bring it down to 80. So I'm going to try with one of the chicken. And I'll bring the chicken to base. The steamed chicken is here. I'm going to try with one. That's what I normally do to see whether the oil is. I'm told you can use the ladle, but this time I want to try with it with one and see. Okay, it's frying. It's frying, but I don't want the oil to become too hot. When the oil becomes too hot, too, it could be another thing. I think I can put all of them in that to put it, but then it begins to blast up. So let me put them in. I'll just increase the level of the fire when there's a need to. Increase the level of the fire when there's a need to. Started making foam, so I have to take it to 60. Okay, now let me bring it up to 80. Because sometimes when the oil hits that much, you don't find it easy with the oil jumping out of the. So gonna add this one. So now we go. Now I can beef up the fire so we get the real boiling point. So our chicken is now boiling. It's now frying, should I call it? We're gonna So now we have our chicken frying now. Now we're going to work on the beans. So I'm going to work on the beans. So let me put this one off. And then work on the beans. Need to add a bit of water. I pour some of the residue away. So I'm going to add water so we get the red color of the beans. So we'll add our rice to the beans. Still having the smaller ones. Maybe I need to check. I need to change where I buy my beans, because the residue, the smaller ones are still in it. Take my time and take all of them out one by one. So now I'm going to add the rice to the beans. But before we add the rice, I have a bit of this is not a cooking class professional, it's my own way of cooking. I have a bit of baking soda, so I'm going to add it to the beans. This is a small one that I added. Let me put it on the fire. We didn't time the chicken, so we're going to time the chicken. It's supposed to be 15 minutes, or let's say 20 minutes. So I'm going to time the chicken. So let me make it roughly 20 minutes. I'll bring this one to 80 because now the oil is hot. So we are going to add the rice. We're adding the rice right now. So you should measure the quantity of rice, beans, and then fetch its appropriate rice. Otherwise, the rice will be lesser than the beans, or the beans will be lesser than the rice. You need to get some combination of a sort. So rice is here. We're gonna put the rice in it. Let me see your comment. Let me see what you think about this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please kindly subscribe. So I think the rice should be okay for the rice in first. And I'm using, what kind of rice I'm using? I'm using pandan rice. Okay, this is Vietnamese. Okay, I think I'm using. Okay. So let me add the rice. Let me wash the rice a bit. I'm going to wash the rice and then we'll add it to it. Add the rice to the beans. I'm wondering we'll be able to get the real wache color because I have to pour part of this water on the beans away because of the particles that are found inside. Maybe the next time I will buy my beans from another place where I don't have to have the issue of separating some from the sun. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, visit my store, my channel store, and then purchase one of my merchandise. I think I need to add a bit of the rice to the wache. I need to add a bit of the rice to the wache, so I'll surely do that. And add a bit of the rice to the lower fire. add a bit of rice to it. I think this will do. But let me pour a bit. Add a bit of the rice to it. Okay, that's enough. So wash the rice here. Add a bit of the rice to it. Add a bit of the rice to it. Wow. A bit of the rice to it. And then now I'm going to stir. I'm going to add more water to it. So this is what the food Ghanaians call wache. So if you want to cook the Ghanaian wache, this is how you have to do it. You need to get red beans, get the rice, and then for the stew, you can choose any combination, but the stew, I'm using tomato, pepper, then fried chicken, and then I'll also add some spices as well. I'll add some spices such as Raiko, such as shrimp cube. Right. I'll add some shrimp cube to it just to give it some flavor. Right. So you can cook Ghana wache with ease. So we have the rice on fire. So the rice, but let me add a bit of water to the rice. So I'm gonna add another bit of water to the rice. If you add too much water to it, you're going to get the rice and beans to be so much soft. And you wouldn't get the wache feel of it. Right, so now we have to cover the rice. A little bit to boil. I'm going to add a bit of salt. Normally I don't add salt into my rice because I put salt into the sauce. Let's see this one. Let's see. So I'm going to add some of the beans water. I pour some of the beans water. So I'm going to add it because we need to get that brownish color. So now we need to cover the rice while our chicken is on. To cover the rice. I wanted to put salt, but I wanted to, I'll get better salt into the sauce rather. So now we're going to prepare for the sauce. For the sauce, I have my tomato paste here. In order to not to waste time, I'm using packed tomato, and then I'm going to use the green pea here. I have the green pea, so I'm gonna. Oh, where's my chopping board? Let's clean the debris on top of the stove. My chopping board. So I can do it in So I'm going to chop the carrots into pieces. So I chop the carrots into pieces here. Supposed to do it on the chopping board, but this one is softer. So I don't need to cut them on the chopping board. So cut them into pieces here. Okay. So cut them into pieces. Cut them into pieces. You guys don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's a travel and lifestyle channel. I do streets, I do cooking, and I'm adding interviews as well to it. It's going to be the very best of everything in between. If you want to learn more about African cuisine, if you want to learn more about cities and towns around the world, then you have to be hooked up to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment and share. So I have this here. So I'm going to get my petit pois at the side. So let me remove these things. So I'm going to add my petit pois, which is the green pea. I love doing stews with petit pois. Okay, so I have some carrot mixed with it, so let me separate it from it. It's really hot in the kitchen. So the cabbage was too much. I don't want the stew to be too much of cabbage. The rice is boiling. Let me slow down on the fire. So that's my petit pois. I have my petit pois here. So while the chicken is frying, I check on the rice. Okay, so I think we need to add a bit of water to the rice. So pour. I don't add too much water so that it doesn't become too, soft and fluffy. A bit hard. I think the steam is going to cook it, so I need to leave it. So this is the wachi. And normal circumstances, I think there's a leaf that they used to get the color. It used to get much browner, like the color of the beans. But I don't actually know the actual leaf, and I don't want to go buy any leaf at all. And sometimes I do use. Okay, I don't want to talk about that. There's a particular thing I used to use, but I don't want to talk about that. So now we're gonna have the watching boiling. We have our petit pois also at one corner. The carrot is too much. Sauce. So I decided to take off some of the carrots from the sauce. So now what we are going to do now is that I'm going to work on my onion. So I'm going to work on my onion. For the sauce, so wash the onion thoroughly. So slice my onions down. So getting my onion sliced. I should have done this on the chopping board. I want to go the African way, chopping from the. I know the knife is not too sharp. It's a blunt knife, so you wouldn't feel. Let me check on the chicken now. So, okay, let me turn on that side. On that side to show up. Turn on that side to show up. So, our chicken is in shape. After prepare, now we're going to start preparing this. So after preparing the stew, there is also another sauce, a black sauce called shito, that we need to prepare in addition. Let me increase the fire a bit. I want the chicken to brown a bit for me. So there's another sauce. Now we need to pour sauce somewhere, steaming sauce somewhere. So let me put this in somewhere first. Put this on here first. So transferring the steaming sauce here. We're going to be doing our stew in this. So that's the sauce. We're going to add this sauce to the stew, right? This was what we got from the steaming. And we're going to add it to this preparation of the stew to make it, much tastier. So I'm going to put it somewhere else as well to free up the table. So now I need to clean. I love cleaning where my cooking space. Check on the rice. I'm told it's not when it gets to the rice gets to this stage. It is not the heat. It's not too much heat that matters, but then it is the steam that matters. I don't know much about that. If you're a professional cook, let me know whether it's true. So now let's check on the rice to see how the rice is faring. So you need to stir the rice so that the beans can mix up. If you live in Jamaica and you're watching me, I think you are seeing rice and peas, but this is the Ghana version called wachi. We call it wachi. Call it wachi. watch it gradually. It's getting into shape. Okay, I think it's well cooked. It's getting well cooked now. Let's leave it for about 5 minutes. We set 20 minutes for this. I think 20 minutes is past gone. I'm gonna like this. Let me wash my fingers. So I think gradually our chicken is getting done. The moment I begin to hear the pat, it means that the chicken is getting done or getting well fried now. Now I've started hearing the pat. So I'm going to realign them. Now it's hard, so when I'm turning them, there's no cause for alarm. I'm turning them. Okay, so I think the fish and the chicken is getting done. We need to prepare for the sauce. Right. So now I'm going to say goodbye to the chicken. Goodbye to the chicken. The chicken is now well fried. I want the oil to drain a bit from it. So let me come here. So this is not a professional cooking class, so this is my own way of cooking. Tasty. Okay. The rice is also okay too. Let me check from beneath. Sometimes there might be water underneath. No. Now we're going to prepare the sauce. So I'm going to transfer the chicken. I'm going to transfer the chicken. So now chicken is on transfer. It's on transfer. So another location, hot oil. I don't joke with hot oil when I'm in the kitchen. So now our pan is on for the sauce itself. Right. So now I need to get oil inside of. So I'm gonna get oil. Oil in this. So now that we get the oil, we need to get our onions. So I bring my onions in here, and then pa. So I'm gonna get my onion in it. I have some cabbage entering, but it's nothing. The same thing. So I'm gonna add. I think the onion is too small. I need to add some of the onion. I'm going to add some of the onion to the onion, and then maybe probably add a bit of the oil. Oh, the oil is okay. I think the oil is okay. because we're going to add the chicken sauce to it. Let me increase the fire a bit. And I get extra onion. So we're going to add extra onions to it. So we get extra onions. So now we're waiting for the onions to fry, and then we'll add other ingredients. We're adding our tomato here. Like I said, I'm using a packed tomato for the benefit of time. So I'm waiting for the onion to fry, and we stir fry it. So, I'll prefer the onion browns a bit. Right, when the onion browns a bit, that is what I love about my sauce. So the onion have to brown a bit. Right. There's some cool water. So stir it for her. I think you don't have to brown because this is a sauce. So this is my practice. I'm going to lower this. Then I'll put in pepper. So let me bring my pepper. I'm going to add pepper to it. So powdered pepper. For me, I like pepper anyway, but I wouldn't advise people to eat pepper. For me, I like pepper. So let me bring the fire up. And now that I've added my pepper, I'm going to add my tomato sauce. So I add the tomato puree. Add the tomato puree. You know, cooking wache takes time. After this sauce, we're going to prepare another sauce. That one is a white sauce we call shito. So, after this, we're going to prepare the shito sauce. Our wache is ready, the rice is ready, so you can see it didn't get too much of the wache color because I didn't use the leaves that they used to color it. I know some people are against the use of water, adding water to sauce. My auntie doesn't like that, but I enjoy doing that. Add a bit of water for it to boil. So now we're going to put curry powder. We're going to put our curry powder in the sauce as well. So now our sauce is on fire. our sauce dip on fire. Sauce is boiling. There's pepper, so now I need to bring in cubes. So now I'm going to add cubes. I'm using a brand called Unga. That is one of the brands I enjoy using. Unga and Maggi. These are the two brands that I use in cooking here in Ghana. Two brands of cube that I use to cook in Ghana. Then I stir. I think the oil is small. But we're going to add the sauce, so there's no need to add. So now I'm going to add another one, prefer two to my sauce. So I'm going to add another one. So I stir and up the fire a bit. Now up the fire a bit. Let me wash my hands. Always make sure that your sauce. I always make sure that my sauce boils for a while. I say your sauce, my sauce, not your sauce. My sauce boils for a while. So allow it to boil. Then I'm going to add something else. This is not a professional cooking video. It's just the way I cook that I'm sharing with my viewers. So I'm going to put a bit of the curry powder. Okay, now let me put. So now I'm going to add a bit of the sauce that from the steamed chicken. So the steamed chicken sauce. Add a bit of the steamed chicken sauce to it. And I beef up the power. So now let me try do it slightly. Okay, so the sauce is boiling now. So this is going to be our first sauce. We'll go in for the next sauce, which is called a shito, which is black sauce. But I think the oil in this is too small. Let me add a bit of oil. I think the oil from the other side is first. Let me add a bit of some small oil to season it. It's not a professional cooking course. I'll be cooking videos. It's the way I cook, sharing with my honorable viewers. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to comment, share, and like. So we are on cooking. So I think I need to add a bit of the pepper. The pepper wasn't enough. The pepper was not enough. So I need to add a bit of the pepper. So scissors. So this is the type of pepper we are using in Ghana now. some pepper to it. Now Ghana has gone advanced. This is the pepper we are using in Ghana now. Wow, high tech. I'm not going to add salt because of the cubes that I put in. Sometimes I wait for the sauce to get done before I taste and see if there's no salt, and I add extra salt. I see it's still tasting salty, so there's no need for me to. I'm going to add my petit pois. This sauce needs to boil. So now actually let's open it with some fresh air to pass through. This is some of the chicken that I fried. I invited, as the saying goes in Africa and in Ghana, he who does consumption's meal does not wash his or his hands anyhow. Or like that. And let's some of the chicken as well. Now we have the water ready. I didn't add salt to the chicken, so it is saltless. So I'm going to stir the sauce again. Sauce. We are not done yet. We have another sauce to prepare. So I need to work on that sauce as well. And then I add my carrots. I add my carrots to it. This is how I cook. So not a professional cooking class. Sharing with you one of the finest Ghana cuisines. This can be taken at breakfast, lunch. Some even take it at supper as well. So I'm going to transfer it. I'm going to transfer it. So transferring this, we're going to prepare the black sauce, which is the shito. After watching, it's all done for watching. We're going to be cooking, doing our shito. Ghana's rice and peas, that is the wachi, goes with a sauce called shito. So it's a black sauce called shito. So we're going to be doing our shito very soon. I still need to slice more onions. So I need to slice some further. Let me reduce the fire for this. It's getting done. So we're going to add, when it's getting directly done, we add the chicken to it as well. So we're going to start another one. I need to have poured the oil into this, but I'll pour it here. I'll pour it directly from this. Let me stir the sauce again. We're going to be adding some of the chicken to it so that the chicken gives it the flavor. It's almost getting done. Okay, not yet. Not yet. So I'm gonna cover it. So cover the stew now. I need to slice my onions for the next sauce. So I always use blunt knife, don't use sharp knife, because I'm afraid of my fingers. So slice it into it. So we've been cooking for over 1 hour. Yeah, some of the African dishes can take long to cook. Some can also take a short time to cook. We will do ampesi and abom one of these days. And you see how some of the African dishes too. Cooking is quite simple as well. So our stew sauce is on. We're going to do our shito. So let's change. Let's do. We're going to increase the fire a bit. So our sauce is also boiling nicely. I want the tomatoes to get a bit done, so I can feel the taste. Okay. Now almost getting the taste. So then we do one. Then add some of the chicken to it. So we're going to add our chicken. If you put plenty of it in it, it's going to absorb it. So I put few ones in it. And then see how it goes. But if you are buying it outside, you don't do it this way. You separate the chicken from the sauce. But I have decided to add the sauce to the chicken to the sauce. So we're going to boil that for just 2 minutes. With the black sauce, we're going to leave it to boil for to let the onion brown. You need to get the onion to get brown. So we won't transfer this here. So first of all, let me take this one here. But this one is already cooked. Let me bring this one here. Let me pace up the power for this one a bit. So now this one is almost ready. Okay, no, you can't see from here. So let me still bring it because of the camera. Let me still change it again because the camera doesn't give you a good point from this type of bowl. So let it boil for a while. We want to make sure that it becomes brown. Then we add other ingredients too. So we're getting our onion, getting brown, and then whilst we work on. So this one is almost done. So you need to shove this one down. So this one is up. This one is done. Tasty. So now we need to allow this one to we need to cover it so that the oil does not jump out. I'm going to cover it. Then I'll increase the fire. I want the onion to get brown on time. So the onion gets brown on time so that we don't waste much time on it. Making sure the onion gets brown because this very sauce, some type of sauce that you can keep for so many days but without heating it, and it won't get spoiled, right? It's a sauce that you can keep for so many days without getting. So let's come up a bit. The onion hasn't browned yet. We're still waiting for the onion to get brown. I'm going to calm down the fire. So I'll gradually put the fire out first because it started jumping out. It's not the best. I've been cooking my own food for 30 years, right? So I usually balance my experience in the kitchen when cooking, right? So it's still not brown yet. Okay, it's almost brown now. So now I'm going to take off the cover of the stove. But let's wait for it to settle down before we add other ingredients to it. We're going to add fish powder. So our fish powder here. Then we'll cover it. This stove cooks very fast, so if you are not experienced cooker, you are cooking with this stove, I mean you will have a taste of your life. Now maybe I need to put on the fire. So keep slowly. So I'm going to add some curry powder. Add some curry powder to reduce the scent of the fish. So we're going to allow it to boil. I'm going to add another thing. I'm going to add one Maggi, and then we add pepper. So we're going to add pepper to it. So now let me add a bit of the fish powder. I'm not doing it in large quantities for commercial use, so I'm doing something small. So I stir. Boiling slowly. I'll increase the fire with time so you see how it goes. So I'm going to add pepper. Actually, it's called shito because you use a lot of pepper in doing it. So you need to blend pepper with shrimp powder and all that in order to, and then curry powder, etc., ginger and all that. So we're going to add ginger powder to it, and later we'll beef up the heat. Now add ginger powder. We're going to add 1 cube to it as well. So you can see it has started browning. At the moment I increase the power, it's going to brown faster. So that's it. We're on our way to finishing our shito. So now I think most of the essential ingredients are in now. Most of the essential ingredients are in now. Wow. So we're going to up the fire a bit. So we up the fire. Boiling slowly, it will begin to boil. We'll wait until it browns and darkens. Then we have what we call the shito. Then the fire is still down. But it's good the fire is this way, otherwise it will burn. So it's one of the African street foods. It tastes better outside. Yes, it tastes better outside when they cook it commercially, because they have been cooking it with a lot of experience and they understand how it's cooked. So they can cook it better. John's the layman's shito. I think the pepper is too small. I'm going to add some of the pepper to it. So I'm going to add some of the pepper. Oh, the pepper, okay, so I'm going to add some of the pepper to it. See this. So we add pepper to it. And then we stir. Oh, it's burning, so I need to bring down the fire again. And the oil is too much. Let's add more pepper. The pepper sauce, that is why it's called shito. Shito is the name of pepper in one of the Ghanaian languages. I think I should have taken the onions out. The onions are dancing in it. To allow it to boil for a while. Maybe beef it up a bit. The point is if you increase the fire, you end up burning it. Alright, so I think our shito is also getting ready. So now I'm going to serve the food for you to see how it looks like. Hit the subscribe button and subscribe. Don't forget to comment and share. Now our shito is almost getting ready. Our shito is getting ready. Ready. Let me increase the fire a bit. And I'll be stirring it from left to right. Some people do remove the onions from the shito, but I keep the onions in it. So stirring it so that it doesn't get burnt. Because it can get burnt and then taste bitter. Shito is gradually. Let me give it a bit of fire and see. It's not even boiling. So we are on the shito, the black pepper. So we are done with our shito as well. So now I'm going to serve. The heat is here, so let me transfer this one and bring this one in to reduce the heat. But there's no power here. So put the stove off automatically. And we have our shito here. So now I'm going to serve a bit of the rice and then I'll put on the sauce and then you see how it tastes. So we're going to serve and so you see how the whole meal looks like. So I'm bringing the wachi or the waki. So this is it. So I'm gonna fetch some of the wachi here. I'm gonna fetch some of the wachi here. Okay, I did trailer that was. So I'm gonna put it back. sauce. So good. I'll put this here. And now I'm gonna serve the sauce. I'm gonna serve the sauce. I'm gonna serve the sauce. And we have our chicken. And we're gonna add the shitotu to it. So now I'm gonna fix it out. It's too hot. So we fetch the shito and put it on one side. And put it on the other side. Right. So this is how it looks like. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and subscribe. So, people, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching my videos. See you later. Bye bye.